Good morning, and welcome to the Financial Optimist. And today I want to share with you a breakdown for my expenses of the month of August. Now, for comparison purposes, I live in the United States, which is currently ranked as the 13th most expensive country on the planet. And I also live in the state of Florida, which is very similar to the overall national average when it comes to cost of living. And the purpose of me showing this breakdown is I want to show you how it's possible to live in the US on mere pennies. I only spend a few $100s a month to live here, but I have a great life. And that's the thing, is many Americans spend thousands per month just to have a basic existence, but you don't have to. It is possible to live on a very small amount of money, and that's why I'm here to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how much I spent and teach you how I did it. So let's start with the food. So for groceries, this is just the grocery store. This doesn't include any restaurants. I spent $107.15. So overall, not too bad. $100 at the grocery store. That was about half the total food I ate for the entire month. So overall, very reasonable. Now, with that said, I also did visit the grocery store at the very end of the month on the last day, so I kind of filled up my fridge before the month of September, which means for the first 2 weeks of September, I won't even have to buy any groceries. So I did front load some expenses this month, so for the September breakdown, I should have a bit of a lower grocery bill, but for this month, it is a little higher than I would like. Overall, very affordable. And in case you're wondering, I shop at places like Walmart, I shop at Aldi, I shop at the dollar store, I save lots of money everywhere. Like, for example, this energy drink here, 95 cents at the dollar store. A lot of my friends are buying other energy drinks for like $2, $3, $4 a piece. You can get them for $1. So you can get the same thing, you just get it for a lower price. And so it is possible to save money on various, items at the grocery store. You have to know what you're getting. Try to get healthy food, try to get things on sale. And of course, always try to save money. That's a whole other topic right there about bargain hunting at the store. So next we have restaurants. I spent a total of $56.40 on restaurants, not including fast food, and that was between two different meals. And the first one here, $30.24, I decided, I want just one cheat meal this month. Get myself a nice, giant, extra large pizza and have it delivered to the house. So the cost of that pizza, including the delivery fee, $30.24. And it was a really nice pizza. It was a very nice restaurant. Definitely not the usual cheap places I go to, but I decided I'll get one cheat meal this month. And on top of that, I was still able to save some money because that pizza was so large, I had 2 meals out of it. I ate half of it one day and half of it the next day. So that averages out to just $15.12 per meal, which is overall pretty average for a lot of restaurants in the area, about $15 a plate for most of your mid-range restaurants. So overall, not too expensive. And this other meal here, $26.16, was also pizza I had delivered. But it wasn't one pizza. It was 3 pizzas. I fed a group of 6 people here for just $26. I had some friends come over to the house. I had an event going on. I bought some pizza, and I fed 6 people for $26, and that even includes the delivery fee as well. So overall, very, very affordable, and if you know where to find the right deals, you can either buy 3 pizzas for $26 or buy 1 pizza for $30. So the place you go to can make a huge difference for how much food you get and how much you pay. So as we can see, there's definitely a lot of money to be saved. Get yourself a nice meal every now and again, no problem, but most of the time, try to get it for cheap. And that brings me to the last category of food, the fast food. This month, I spent $97.73 on fast food, and I went to fast food a total of 19 times this month. So that's about every other day. That's like, 4 times a week just about. So that's definitely a lot of fast food. And the average cost per meal is $5.14. So, you might be asking, how did I get meals for only $5? Well, that's because there are still some fast food places that offer good deals on fast food. We've got $4 meal deals, $5 meal deals, $6 meal deals. There are places that have good deals. And so if you know where to shop, if you get the right kind of coupons, you still can save money at fast food. I only go to the fast food places that save money. I don't go to the expensive places. And so when it comes to my most expensive versus my cheapest meal, here for my most expensive meal, I went to a restaurant called Checkers. It can also be called Rally's. I spent $8.33. So what did I get for that much? Well, I had 2 cheeseburgers, a hot dog, small fries, a small drink, and an apple pie for $8.33. I filled an entire bag full of food, and I even got a free refill on the soda. It was very delicious, it was very affordable, and I filled myself up completely for only $8. So even when I'm gorging myself, I spend less than $10. And then for the cheapest meal, I went to Wendy's, and at breakfast time, they had a deal this month where you can get yourself a breakfast sandwich for just $1. They had the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit for only $1. The deal has now ended, and those sandwiches are now $4 each. So for whatever reason, they ran a discount this month. I was able to save some money, get a meal for $3, so a very cheap breakfast. And as we can see here, fast food can be affordable. And like I said, I live here in Florida. Some states are more, some states are less. But if you know where the deals are at, you can save money. Even though I go to fast food all the time, I don't spend that much money on it. And of course, I also don't like to gain weight, so I keep the overall portion size in check. I don't get large meals, and I do make sure I exercise several times a month because I don't want to gain a lot of weight. But overall, if you want to save money at fast food, think of it this way. Go to the grocery store, you pay $4 a meal there, or you go to fast food and you pay $5 a meal, but they make it for you. So if it's the right kind of price, it's almost as cheap as getting food from the grocery store, so I can save money in the grocery budget by getting the fast food instead. So there is some back and forth between how much restaurant money I spend versus how much grocery store money I spend. So overall in total for food, it was $261.28. Not bad at all. Now, I looked up online, and the national average food price for individual is about $450 to $500 for just one person. And as I mentioned, I'm a household of one, so I'm not sharing any food with anyone else here. So that's about half what the national average is for food, which is overall really very impressive. Like I said, I'm very good at hunting for bargains. That'll be a whole other video right there about how I can save money with food. But this is much, much higher than last month, because last month in July, I was trying to lose some weight. I spent less than $100 on food. This month, I wasn't losing weight. I bought a lot more food. But like I said, I front-loaded my fridge on the last day of the month, so September should be less than this. August is a little higher than I would like, but overall, still not too bad. So when it comes to the fuel breakdown, I went to the gas station a total of 4 times. Compare that with July, I went to the gas station 3 times. That's because I also went to the gas station on the very last day of the month. I front-loaded my car with fuel, so that's why my gas bill is as high as it is for the month of August, but for the month of September, it should be a little lower because my car started off with a full gas tank. So that was $83.76 in total, averaging $20.94 per foot-fill-up. And me, I always fill up my car exactly to half a tank. So as soon as I hit half a tank, I fill it up. So 4 fill-ups, half a tank each. That's basically 2 full tanks of gas. So $83, $84 overall, not too bad. That's a pretty small category in the grand scheme of things. And, you know, I guess I could get a more fuel-efficient car, save a few bucks a month, but overall, I'm quite pleased with this number. It's not that expensive. And by comparison, my drive to work is about a 20-minute drive each way without traffic, so it's a fairly short commute. I can save money. My car is moderately fuel-efficient. I usually get around 28 miles per gallon or so. So overall, that's pretty reasonable. Now, medical breakdown, this would be things like doctor's bills, prescriptions, medical supplies. This month, not much, $23.45 per month, or just for this month. So overall, pretty small. Just picked up a couple things. And you might be thinking, hang on, how do you only pay that much for medical? I pay way more than that. Well, you notice that I'm not fat. Because if you're overweight, that substantially increases your likelihood for all kinds of chronic health conditions, which are very, very expensive to manage. If you control your health, if you exercise regularly, if you eat healthy, if you have portion control, you don't overeat, you can substantially reduce your risk for health issues, which means you can save money both on the grocery budget and you can save money on the medical budget. And so it's definitely a very, very affordable category for me. I don't spend a lot on medicines. I mean, I go to the doctor throughout the year, but it doesn't have to be a large expense. So utility breakdown for this month, my internet bill was $28.06. Now you might think, hang on a minute, just this morning you posted a video and you said your internet bill is $30 a month. How are you saying it's $28 for last month? Well, that's because last month my internet was down for a couple of days and the internet company didn't charge me for the days that my service was down. I didn't receive service, I didn't pay money for it. So I saved a couple bucks because I lost my service for a few days. So even though I would like to have internet every day, at least I saved a few dollars. The electricity bill for last month was $168.46. So it is up a bit from last month, but again, like I said, this is Florida. It gets very, very hot here. I run my air conditioner 24 hours a day. So my electric bill is going to be really high this time of year. I'm hoping in the winter months when it cools off some, the electric bill should go down because I'm using less air conditioning. So we'll wait to see what the actual bill is in a few months here. But for now, it's the summertime, so it's going to be high. And then for my water sewer bill, that was $65.98. And about $60 of that is a flat fee. There's only like a few dollars of actual usage on there. So I don't use a lot of water, but the local city here does charge a fairly hefty flat fee every month, whether I use the service or not. So unfortunately, it is a bit more than I would like. And like I said, this is a household of one. So if I had roommates with me, it would only be up a little bit more because I only use, $5 worth of actual water every month. The rest of it is just a fee. So it is what it is. I would like to see this overall lower, but overall, not too bad because the total for utilities is $262.50. Household of one, not bad. I would like to see this a bit lower, but unfortunately, utilities are just kind of expensive. So I do what I can to save electricity, to save some water. I do what I can to get a cheap internet plan. So overall, I do keep it relatively low. But, it's still quite reasonable. Now other, this is the last category here of $83.55. These are just some miscellaneous expenses that didn't really have a home, so I just put another. So the total breakdown for the entire month of August is $714.54. Overall, very, very good. I spent well south of $1,000 this month, which is what my goal is. I'm trying to live on less than $1,000 per month on average over the whole year, so this month is definitely going to bring down the averages quite far. $700 for a whole entire month is really very good. It's about as good as you can get. Now, last month I spent less than $500 per month. This month I had a few more expenses, unfortunately, but overall still very, very reasonable. Now, you might be thinking, hang on a minute. You've missed a couple of categories here. Surely your expenses can't be that low. Like, what about your housing? How much is your house here? Well, this house behind me here, I already have the whole entire thing fully paid off. I have no mortgage, I have no rent, and I have no HOA fee. So I actually own my house, which means I have no housing expense. I pay for housing maintenance, I pay for property taxes, I pay for utilities, but this month, other than utilities, there was no other expenses. So that's really, really good because if you have a house you already own, you don't pay rent, you don't pay a mortgage, you don't even need homeowners insurance if you don't want to, you can save a lot of money. And that's something I teach here at the Financial Optimist. I teach saving up money and paying cash for a house. It is possible to find affordable real estate in the U.S. This house here, it's a 3-bedroom house I bought for just $100,000. It is possible to find starter houses in the U.S. if you know where to look. And in my other videos, I show you how to do that. I show you how I found a house. It is possible. You just have to know how to look for one. And other expenses, like medical. What about health insurance? So I have employer-sponsored health insurance. I do pay approximately $100 per month for health insurance, but it doesn't come out of my checking account. It comes directly off the paycheck. So for the purposes of this monthly expenses here, this only shows the expenses that come out of my checking account. The things that come off of my paycheck, like my health insurance, my 401k contributions, those aren't included in the monthly breakdowns, but they will be included at the end of the year for my total yearly breakdown. That's where I include the monthly breakdowns plus a few things as well to show you how much my total expenses are. So it will be on this list in the future, but for this month, it's not included. Other than that, when it comes to things like, let's say, subscriptions, where's the Hulu, where's the Netflix, where's the Amazon? Well, I try to avoid monthly subscriptions as much as I can. I don't sign up for subscriptions, even though I do shop on Amazon every now and again. I don't pay the annual fee. I just shop whenever I need a couple things. So I tend to avoid the types of expenses and fees. Otherwise, I try to keep the expenses as low as possible. Now, if you have any questions about how did I avoid this, how did I avoid that, how did I spend a little here, go ahead and drop those questions in the comment section below. I would love to answer your questions. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.